remember back in 2018 when Donald Trump opened up his mouth and got into a lot of trouble? I know I need to go ahead and narrow that down a little bit because that was every day that ended in Y. But when he was talking about Haiti, when he was talking about certain African nations, which I don't even know, did we ever get confirmation that he actually said what he said about Haiti and El Salvador, I guess specifically? Like, we're going to have to refresh ourselves on this for a second when he was talking about those places back in the cut. But President Donald Trump referred to Haiti and African nations as troubled countries. We're still early and I don't want to get demonetized. During a meeting with a bipartisan group of senators at the White House, a Democratic aide briefed on a Thursday meeting told NBC News. Right, this was secondhand information. Trump's comments were first reported by The Washington Post, which said the nations referred to by Trump also included El Salvador, which is, it's kind of interesting, right? Because, okay, we'll circle back around to that for a second. We'll just get the full context on this. The UN Human Rights Office said the comments, if confirmed, which I don't think we ever got confirmation on that, were shocking and shameful and racist, while Haiti's foreign minister summoned the U.S., charged the affairs Robin Diallo for clarification. Two sources briefed on the conversation say that during a portion of the conversation about Haiti, which came at the top of the exchange that led to the whole asshole comment, the president questioned why Haitians should be given specific consideration. Why do we need more Haitians? Take them out, he said, according to the sources. I don't believe this for a second. It's just up there. It's in the same vein as the suckers and losers comment. But still, some idiots, including the current president, regrettably, believes that Trump said, even though that has been obviously disputed by, such reputable sources that were also on that plane flight. John Bolton, somebody who is avowedly anti-Trump now, said that, no, he didn't say that, but Joe Biden continues to run with it because the truth, that's a little bit subjective once you get to Washington, because if you do, it will be obvious why. Frankly, I don't care because, okay, Haiti and El Salvador were right in the crosshair of Trump's ire that, he couldn't care less about those impoverished minorities. But it's interesting, right? Because we have the perfect compare and contrast right now where you have two countries who were being slandered by the former president, and one took that as a call to reform and make something of themselves. In El Salvador, Bukel wins supermajority in Congress after painstaking vote count. All right, so El Salvador President Nayib Bukele and his New Ideas Party has won a supermajority, and the leader needs in Congress to govern as he pleases, electoral officials announced on Monday. Yeah, this just came out right in the middle of February, so this isn't that old. The announcement comes after a painstaking vote counting process in which has raised the hackles of electoral watchdogs in the country's weak opposition, who cites irregularities. The country's socialist opposition that put them in the terrible position for them to be rightly called a shithole country. Yeah, very interesting. Bukel handily won re-election February 4th with 84.7% of the vote. Gee, I wonder why the guy who round up and took personally call to round up all of those rampant gangs in El Salvador, making it one of the three in the, I forget what the appropriate title is, but the Triangle of Terror in Central America, El Salvador squarely being a part of that triumvirate. Creating those super prisons where you have all of those gang members handcuffed and sat on the floor. You've probably seen the pictures across social media over the past year or so. So El Salvador's on the come up, but what's happening over in Haiti? We have human barbecues going down. I wish that was a joke. The violent warlord calling the shots in Haiti's slums. Yeah, it's been a thing over the past couple of days, huh? From the poor slums to one of the world's most dangerous cities, a violent gangster is calling for the proletarian uprising in the lawless chaos of Haiti. Oh, great. Jimmy Sherezi insists the nickname by Barbeque or Barbecue. Oh, there we go. Comes from his mother's roadside fried chicken joint. Way to play up stereotypes, rather than a reputation for burning people alive. But the ex-police officer turned warlord showed a streak of political ruthlessness this week as he moved against the government, casting himself as a revolutionary acting on behalf of Haiti's downtrodden. His weapon, the organization of mass jailbreak of 3,800 prisoners. Yep, sounds like a communist uprising. And the Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, was in Kenya pleading for security assistance to bring order to his state. The battle we are waging is not only to topple the Ariel Henry government, Shirazi declared in front of a band of balaclava-clad, rifle-wielding militiamen in a video posted to social media before the jailbreak and recent attack on the airports and police stations. It is a battle that will change the whole system. The reason that this uprising was able to occur, I'll just take a look at who's actually been running Haiti. Gangs such as the G9 now control about 80% of Port-au-Prince, according to the UN. They extort money from businesses and kidnap rich and poor residents alike for ransom, all while fighting each other over territory. The police, with only 9,000 members, are outmatched. Oh yeah, each gang operates behind invisible frontiers in the slums, ruling them like fiefdoms, giving out food and granting non-governmental organizations, which are often the administrators of basic services in Haiti, permission to operate from within. Last year, more than 8,400 people in Haiti fell victim to gang violence, including killings, injuries, and kidnappings, according to the UN, which said the situation has reached a crucial point. An estimate of 200,000 people were displaced in 2023, and Haitians now make up a significant number of migrants intercepted at the U.S. southern border, causing a headache for the Biden administration. Wow, which was actually caused by the Clinton administration and the Clinton Foundation specifically, if we really want to get fully fleshed out on this topic. Haiti is in the news, so here's a quick timeline of Haiti since 2009. Notice Hillary Clinton is featured prominently. Yeah, so funny how that always works out. The Obama's third term, that characterization has never been more accurate. 2009, Secretary of State Clinton makes Haiti a top diplomatic priority. In January of 2010, a devastating earthquake that claims 220,000 lives decimates Haiti. The Clinton Foundation raises $30 million for Haitian relief. That goes largely unaccounted for. Yeah, we don't need to figure out the rest of that stuff. And anybody who did find out where all that money went, well, they just ended up on a different type of list. November of 2010, Hillary Clinton endorses Michael Martley, but he comes in third place and does not qualify for the runoff election scheduled for March 2011. In January of 2011, Hillary Clinton travels to Haiti, meets with presidential Préval, and threatens to cut off aid if Martley is not on the ballot. Celestin is dropped from the ballot, and Martley is placed on the ballot. Wow, corruption. And Clinton's? No, that doesn't happen. March of 2011, Martley wins an election marred by voter fraud where 650,000 ghost ballots were counted, including many who died in an earthquake. Yeah, but they needed to have their voices heard, and they already cast their ballots. Don't worry about it. Between 2011 and 2016, Martley administration is plagued with corruption scandals, mainly centered around accepting bribes in exchange for construction project deals that never materialized, and working with criminal gangs to commit human rights violations. Yep, sounds in line. 2016, Martley resigns and flees to Florida a week before his term is set to expire. June 2016, the results of a special election are annulled after the audit found extensive voter fraud. You don't say. November 2016 to 2020, Jovenel Moïse wins new elections. He begins enacting agrarian reforms, establishing free trade zones, fighting corruption, and arresting narcotics and human traffickers. July 7th, 2021, 6 months after Joe Biden takes office, 28 foreign, mostly Colombian mercenaries storm the presidential palace and assassinate President Mose. July 7th through the 21st of 2021, departing PM Claude Joseph takes over as president for 14 days, but stands down in favor of Ariel Henry, who was supported by the United States. Wow, shocker. 2 days before his murder, Moise had chosen Henry to be prime minister. Gangs begin carving out the nation's capital, Port-au-Prince, in 2021, and finally we arrive in the current year of February. Claude Joseph and Moise's widows are indicted for plotting Moise's assassination. You don't say. And finally, we end up in March of 2024. Henry travels to Kenya to sign an agreement for 1,000 troops to help restore order in the Haitian capital, but is unable to return home due to security concerns. Henry remains stranded in Puerto Rico as warring gangs wrestle for control of the government, with human flesh-eating gang leader Barbeque poised to take over. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Can't get into the specifics. You can find the videos that's out there, okay? But, yeah, proceed at your own caution, okay? So, now how does that circle all the way back around to the United States government? Well, because by corruption, you need a little bit more corruption, because as crisis grips Haiti, U.S. pledges another $100 million for force to address violence. You're going to send over $100 million The president's not there. Currently going through a coup. Who are you sending that money to? Right, there's a history of money just heading into Haiti and nobody caring where it ultimately goes. Have we seen this happen before, guys? Move brings proposed U.S. contributions to the group to $300 million. Fantastic stuff. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on a Monday announced the additional $100 million to finance the deployment of multinational force to Haiti following a meeting with Caribbean leaders in Jamaica to halt the country's violent crisis. Blinken announced another $33 million in humanitarian aid and the creation of a joint proposal agreed on by Caribbean leaders and Haitian stakeholders that would expedite the creation of a presidential college. Oh, that's fantastic. You can't even figure out your own elections stateside, so you're just going to go out there and spread democracy. And all of this dust up in Haiti will just go ahead and obfuscate from this absolute dicking that Biden's about to deliver to the country on his way out. I see an announcement of a $7.3 trillion budget with $5.5 trillion in tax hikes, which, oh, it's only going on the wealthy, so they pay their fair share. Who ends up ultimately paying for those taxes? Did the super rich? Did the wealthy and corporations? Or did those costs trickle down to the diminishing middle class and the poor? Oh, yeah, exactly. President Biden unveiled his election year budget pitch Monday, calling for $5.5 trillion in tax increases by raising rates on wealthy and corporations. What the hell? While spending $7.3 trillion on defense, some of that going to Haiti, but a lot of that going to our greatest allies across the globe. Federal benefit programs, affordable housing, and student debt cancellation. Oh, that shit that he actually can't do and has tried to do multiple times right before the midterm, and now he's going to try it again right before the general. Fiscal year 2025 budget, which is highly unlikely to be approved by Congress. He's just going to use this as an electioneering talking point by, oh, if the Republicans will just work a bipartisan effort, we could pass the student debt cancellation. I could buy some more single white female votes. The year's top-line tax increase level spends $300 billion while purportedly cutting the federal deficit by $3 trillion for the next 10 years. How can you lie so obviously? We're going to spend $7.3 trillion. We're just going to raise the taxes on the people that are ultimately going to have tax breaks to take advantage of. So you're going to have an artificial inflated market that the middle class that don't have access to those same tax breaks are just going to end up shouldering even more so. How does that ultimately end up working out to $3 trillion federal deficit reduction in the next 10 years? Biden's not even going to be alive to see this plan theoretically manifest. What are we doing? But yeah, anybody with two eyes and Republicans alike were quick to call out the administration for reckless spending. But you know what? While there's other problems abroad where people are too busy worrying about, oh, Trump called Haiti a shithole country. Well, guess what? Another day and another instance of Trump being 1000% right. And Joe Biden sticking to that old Democratic axiom, never let a crisis go to waste. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.